Who first told you to cover up? What if the truth is being bare in nature isn't shameful at all? It's healing, it reconnects you to your body and to the natural world. Welcome back to Hiking Without a Stitch. Get naked, be free, and be kind. I'll share my journey into naturism, stories from the trail, and conversations with others who have found freedom in the open air. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Hiking Without a Stitch. I'm John, your host, and today I'm joined by my good friend Deter. If you've listened to the podcast before, you've actually already heard some of her work. She created the intro and outro music for the podcast, so I'm really excited to have her on. A while back, Deter and I went to Tanque Verde Falls, and I took her on her first nude hike. We originally planned to record that whole experience out on the trail, but the audio didn't really come out quite the way that we wanted, so instead we sat down afterwards at her in-home studio to talk about what that experience was like for her. In this conversation, we explore first-time impressions, fears, body image, societal expectations around nudity, and what happens when you step outside of your comfort zone and reconnect with nature in a completely different way. So, let's jump into this conversation. Enjoy. This is usually where I get naked.
Okay.
Do you care if I strip off?
No, do you care if I take my top off?
No, you're good.
Oh, cool. Yes.
Have you ever gone naked hiking?
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nope.
This is the first.
I do that a lot.
How's it going, man? Good, good. How are you? Dude, hell yeah.
There's so many clothes people.
I'm John.
Hey, I'm Deter. How you doing, Robert? Right on, man.
Lots of clothes people down there? Perfect. Just tuck that in there, and I think we are officially recording.
All right, that's...
That's getting, I don't know, how windy it's going to pound on the little mic. Yeah, so welcome, Deter. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being on the podcast. I've been looking forward to this for a while now.
Yeah, we've talked about it pretty extensively for months and months. And then we finally made the time to, get our schedules in line. We went and we did the hike that we've been talking about, and now we're here to talk about the hike on the podcast.
Yeah. What's really interesting, too, is you're the person who created the intro and outro music for the podcast, and you were one of the first people that I told and kind of put it out there and, said, hey, I like going naked out in the woods.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Yeah.
So you're a good friend of mine. You're a coworker and one of the biggest supporters of the podcast from the very beginning. So thank you for that.
Fan number one.
Yeah.
Number one fan.
How long have you been producing music?
I've been producing music with, the setup and the gear, everything you see here for probably about 10 years now, actually, which is crazy to think because it doesn't feel like 10 years. I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing. But I've been playing music pretty much my whole life.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You're very good at it.
Okay.
I think you're good at it.
Thank you.
And you do producing music for videos and podcasts and other projects like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done a couple different. I've dabbled in a couple different realms. I've done podcasts. Yours wasn't the first one that I had done. I've also done some film. I just wrapped up another film, which I will show you later, the sneak peek of that one.
Oh, badass. I look forward to it.
I've done stuff for Twitch streamers. I've done stuff for YouTube content creators. Just any and everything. Yeah, if you need music for something, I'll do it.
I will link your information in the show notes.
Yeah.
So that'll get out there. So if you need music for anything, contact her. What really inspired you to start doing music? Was that something from your childhood or later in life?
Definitely grew up with it. My mother's side of the family, there was one generation where everyone was a musician. And if you don't play an instrument, then you love to dance and you love to go listen to live music. And so any family member that's in a band or whatever, you know, we'll go out and we'll go see them, or we'll go catch a band, we'll go out dancing. We just like, music is just the core of our family, really, in a way. So ever since I was a kid, it was just there. It was like, oh yeah, my uncle's band's playing, let's go check them out.
That's super cool.
You know, so yeah.
That is super cool. What was it like kind of making the podcast music for the podcast, kind of when you found out that I was doing that and going that route?
Well, I wanted to talk to you, of course, and see what you wanted it to sound like, you know, little tidbits, the overall feel, because it is very rooted in naturism.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to touch base first, and then you gave me an idea, and then I took that idea, and then I threw in the whole nature aspect, and you know, the birds, and it's just very light, and it makes you feel like you're out skipping naked.
Yeah, just smoking weed, walking on the trail.
Yeah, it kind of does, but it's also upbeat, and it has a little bit of those hip hoppy drums to it too, because I wanted it to still have a little bit of, like, you know, the flair.
Yeah,
and also, you know, you are a former rapper.
Yeah, right there. Represent North Bend, Washington.
That's right.
To set this up a little bit, you would not identify yourself as like a nudist or a naturist. You're just kind of open to nudity?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a label, but I'm not uncomfortable by nudity, and I myself, I don't like to wear clothes. Mostly a shirt. I don't like to wear shirts. I'm all about free the nip. I don't think I should have to wear a shirt if I don't want to.
Well, yeah, and
I would prefer to not.
It's an interesting dynamic that women's nipples get sexualized, and like I can go outside and cut the grass or be in the pool or whatever shirtless, but a woman can't. We kind of talked about that a little bit on the hike.
Yeah,
that's so backwards and weird. You also had an incident with the FedEx driver this last week.
It was Amazon. It was the Amazon driver.
Hey.
Yeah, and I had told you and our friends about it, because we always share weird, crazy stories with one another, because that's what we do. So yeah, we were out in the pool this Sunday, just having a good time, playing some beer pong in the pool, listening to some dance hall reggae, and I'm topless in the pool, and I'm mid-shot, just having a good old time, just dancing, getting ready to shoot, and I'm like, oh shit, there's the Amazon guy. He saw.
Hi.
He's seen it.
Did he react at all, or was it just like, oh?
No, by the time I realized that he was on the porch placing the package, you know, he had already made that walk.
Yeah.
You saw he made the walk.
That's
already.
what I thought about when I walked up to your house.
Did you put yourself in the Amazon delivery driver's shoes?
Oh, she'd be right there in the pool.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I can picture it. It's hysterical.
Just sad titties out. Yeah.
So, I guess I didn't set this episode up very well, but we are
ridiculous. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Let's come to a screeching halt. We are at Deter's house in her home studio recording this episode. We could have done it through the internet, but we felt it would be better to be in person and hash things out and talk about our relationship and going hiking naked together. So
that's right.
Like, what was
We're friends.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, we've built this relationship up. What was your, like, honest reaction when I first told you that I was, like, a naturist and liked naked hiking?
I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that sounds really neat, because I like both of those things. I like recreation, and I like not wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you combine them together? That's great. Tell me more. I was very intrigued. I wasn't weirded out by it at all. I was curious.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting telling you, because you had already kind of passed, like, the vibe check, you know, just through conversations we had. I was like, oh, I think she's down, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
I
this
don't think
is
she'd
safe.
be too weirded out if I told her.
No, not at all.
So I told you, and it wasn't really a big deal. Did you know what naturism was about? Like, so you'd never really heard about it?
No.
As someone from, like, the outside?
No. And surprisingly, too, because, I'm from the East Coast and spent a lot of time in the woods and spent a lot of time with hippies and, very free-minded, open people. But that specific term of naturism and going into what it actually means, I'd never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So when I told you it was like your first kind of introduction to it, was there anything that you were like, I think this might be like a swingers thing, or was it pretty obvious that I wasn't trying to be weird or present weirdly to you?
Oh no, I never thought that for a single second.
Cool.
Yeah, no, there wasn't any of that. But I also know you.
Yeah.
At that point, we had already known each other for a while, and had built a relationship. So, yeah, there was never a thought of it being weird at all. No.
Gotcha. Right on. Well,
Also, at any moment now, the F-bombs are going to start flying. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening with your children, please stop.
We're gonna have some cursing, and that is okay.
It's gonna happen.
I want everyone to show up how they normally show up.
It's gonna start happening. So and some of my questions for you are, because when I'm gonna kind of first go into our shared existential life crisis, because I think that's important, because that's really where this all kind of started. I think because we both bonded off of this notion that we were at a point in our lives where we're in our mid-30s and we don't really feel fulfilled, and we both came to this crashing conclusion of, man, this sucks, because we're waking up every day, we're going and spending a third of our day doing something that we don't necessarily like to do, but we have to do it because we don't want to live under a bridge.
Yeah.
We have families to support, so we're going to get up and we're going to go to work. But it's not who we are. It's not what we love to do. It's like, wouldn't you rather be doing this? Wouldn't you rather be doing that?
Yeah.
And then we got really, really deep we got down into the pipeline of the, spiritual, psychological. Like it got very, very deep. But that's where we started really bonding, and you became my brother from another mother. And I think that's the point where you started really diving into naturism and using that as your channel to reconnect with yourself.
Yeah.
And along that way, when you first jumped into it, you were greeted with some aggressiveness from men. And if you want to share those stories.
That's something that kind of caught me off guard coming into this that I didn't really expect, is that pretty much when I first started my Instagram profile, kind of chronicling my hikes and tips to go out into like public lands naked, I was met with a lot of aggressive sexual energy from random men. I would get dick pics.
Lots of dick pics.
Yeah. Get lots of dick pics, lots of solicitation, lots of like private crude comments, which was really, I didn't expect that, because coming into it I'm like, oh, this helps me mentally. I'm like super thrilled. Like the way that I put it to Olivia is, if I could take the feelings from nude hiking and put it into pill form, everyone would be taking it, because it's so amazing. But the fact that you have to confront yourself and strip everything off and be really, really vulnerable and step out, people don't want to do that. And so I was going into it with this like rose-colored glasses. Everyone's got the best intentions. All the real ones are going to be on here, and it's going to be great. And it was like, hey man, I like nude hiking too, and like some dude masturbating,
in a canoe.
in a canoe or out, whatever. And I'm like, this is not the vibe that I'm going for. Yeah, so that was kind of weird.
Favorite. He was hands down my favorite. So being met with that kind of right out of the gate, how did that make you feel? Was there anything about that made you feel deterred from taking that second step into it?
A little bit between the tidal wave of sexual energy that shot at me that I wasn't expecting. I was also met with, like, when I told some family members and friends, with a little bit of pushback of, like, they just didn't get it. And it kind of put some pressure on our relationship, you know, because they're like, well, why can't you just be like you have been, you know, just be normal, and why you got to be naked now?
Oh, that word normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem
normal.
with it.
Well, and like you were talking about the existential crisis that we both had. We were fed this narrative: do these things, pursue this type of money. You have to look a certain way. You have to be a certain way to be included in and have value about yourself. And we did all the things, and now we're trying to unlearn most of what we built up during our, you know, teen and 20s.
Yeah.
I guess if I could put it that way, I'm like unlearning a lot of the internal narratives and judgment systems and spiritual systems that I adopted when I was a kid. And like naturism's been a huge part of that, just kind of opening my eyes and like going, oh, there's other ways to live and commune with people in nature that's like way healthier.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm with you. I've always held just nature in very high regard. I've always felt that being outside, being with trees and feeling grass and grounding yourself and really intertwining your body with what's around you has a feel, it has a vibration. And, you know, not to sound too hippy dippy, but there's something to it, I think. And I don't know if maybe not everyone is attuned into that, because everyone's different. Everyone has different upbringings, life experiences. So maybe someone out there is thinking, well, I can go touch a rock and I don't really feel any fucking different. It's just a fucking rock. Like, okay, you know, that's you. But have you ever really felt the rock? You know? Well, yeah. You know what I mean? Have you really felt the rock?
Yeah, everything gives
I don't know how
off,
to
everything
explain
gives
it,
off a vibe.
Yeah.
Everything gives off a vibe.
You have to be open to it.
Yeah, and I think in the world that we live in currently, everything's about distraction. Everything's about being more disconnected from the natural world.
Yeah.
And that's something we talked about on our hike that we'll get to very shortly. But like, yeah, from our phones to working the hours that we work, from having a phone that, you know, your boss can call you anytime. You can get emails anytime. Yeah. It's constant distraction. And so I think stripping off your clothes and going back out into nature is like a direct communion with the natural world. You're no longer this separate piece of it. You're a part of this ecosystem, and you're moving through it.
Amen, brother. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that. I've always felt that way, and there is something, I think, to when you do strip down and you embrace that vulnerability, you do connect with it differently. Like, even just, you know, if you want to go lay out in your backyard naked and get a tan, just, you know, tan your hide a little bit. Yeah. You know, you feel happy afterwards. You get that euphoric feeling that the sun is doing something, the air is doing something. It's where we are meant to be. Yeah. Truly, I think. Just my opinion.
Well, going in that vein, like, you actually spoke to me a few weeks ago at work about you were in your pool, topless, kind of like swimming around, just laying in the water, listening to the birds, and you said you felt this like immense amount of like peace and gratefulness and just ease. Like, why do you think that you get your body starts to calm down when you're in those moments?
I think that it just comes down to, at the core of every human being, we are of the earth, and then we always, you know, what do? We die and we return to it. There's a cycle. There's always a cycle at play, and I personally truly believe that most people would be better. They'd be happier if they did 3 things, and you know I say this all the time: get exercise, eat a good healthy diet, and go outside and get sun.
Yep.
I really think that those three things would help most people. And of course, there are special circumstances. There are people that really do have conditions that might inhibit them mentally, physically, whatever it is that, you know, but that's not everyone. And now we're in this age of everyone's depressed, everyone's got a mental illness, and I'm not taking away from the people that do, by all means, but you see it so much, and there's always a pill that they want to put you on to help you feel better. But then when you really break it down and look at the statistics behind it, a lot of these people they're overweight, they don't exercise, they're not outside, they're inside, maybe they're playing video games all day. And hey, I love video games too. You saw my systems out there. I've got like every fucking one. But that's not all that you need, that you should be doing.
There's a balance.
You've got, there's always a balance. But I think that we are supposed to be out moving our bodies, and we're supposed to be outside, and we're supposed to be getting a proper dosage of all of those things. You know, the rest and relaxation come into play with that as well. You've got to have both. You can't also just be out there grinding all day.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to shut it down and relax and rejuvenate.
Yeah.
And so balance is hard to obtain, but I think it's the key for a lot of everything. Really. Yeah.
Interesting. What was your relationship with your body and nudity like growing up when you were younger?
Personally, I hated my body when I was growing up because I was a fat kid. So I was very, very self-conscious for a very, very long time. Even after I grew up and lost weight as a teenager, I was 16, 17, going through that. Even after that, my brain still didn't register that I was different now. And I still have issues because, you know, I lost a lot of weight. And so, like, I have extra skin on my midsection and stretch marks and stuff like that because that's what happens. That's the way the body is, you know? Your skin only has so much elasticity, blah, blah, blah. So I struggled with that for a really long time, and because of it, I was not cool with taking my shirt off, even though I wanted to. Or, you know, like, I wouldn't go skinny dipping with friends maybe in high school. Going into college, you know, once I started getting a little bit more confident in myself and not caring as much, that was different. But initially, I was not into it. Not that nudity was really shunned.
Yeah.
In my family, it wasn't taboo. But me personally, I didn't want to partake in it because I was extremely self-conscious.
Interesting. So nudity to you was shameful. Like you didn't like parts about your body, so nudity was associated with like shame.
To me, it was. Yeah, for sure.
So at what point did you start accepting your body and becoming more okay with the things that you saw about yourself that you didn't like?
Definitely in college, getting out of my hometown, going out on my own, meeting all of these really interesting new people, and I got really lucky because I met a lot of good people along the way. Met some bad, but I figured out pretty quickly to discard them, so I was really lucky in just meeting good, safe, fun people. And the more people I met and the different types of people I met, different body types, different backgrounds, just really just building, you know, my own personal social culture. I just started getting more comfortable because they were all comfortable. No one, and I realized that no one cared what I looked like because no one saw me the way I did. No one analyzed me the way that I did.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, you go to the gym, you look good. Cool. All right. Well, so I guess I can just keep my bathing suit on? That's cool. All right. Yeah, let's go with this. And then it slowly just turned into meeting more people that were like, hey, dude, let's go skinny dipping. okay, I guess I'll try it, with a little liquid encouragement. Yeah. Did it, fine, no one cared. And then everything just progressed into me not really caring anymore.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at now. It's like, I don't think of myself that way, the way I used to. Not nearly as negatively. I mean, my wife might disagree. She's like, yeah, you worry too much about what you look like. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm in fitness though,
I think you're
kind of what I do.
I think you're a badass. I think you're doing great.
Thanks, man.
It's just, we get so hung up on our own selves, and we have like the harshest inner dialogues for ourselves.
We are our hardest critics.
Yeah, it's so wild.
For sure.
Because, yeah, that's a hard thing to get through, and I'm glad that you found a path that made you feel comfortable and found people that made you feel comfortable instead of the opposite, because you and I both know you can find shitty people. Let's talk leading up to the hike.
Okay.
What was that like meeting me at the Tanque Verde trailhead?
Well, once I got over the road, if you recall, I was like, this road is fucking bullshit. Meet me at the first lot. I'm not driving up to the fifth one, dude.
You're not the first person to say that either. They're like, why didn't you fucking tell me about the road?
It's like, I don't drive a Jeep anymore, asshole. I have a fucking sedan. But it really wasn't that bad. It was just that first part I freaked out. But no, I was just really excited. I had been anticipating it. We'd been talking about it, and the weather was perfect. It was nice and warm, but it wasn't overwhelmingly hot to where we were sweating our titties off. It was just nice. There was a nice breeze going, and so I was driving up, jamming in some music, and I was like, this is going to be great. We're going to get exercise. We're going to talk about life and philosophical shit, and we're going to have a great time. So I was just really excited just to really go and hang out and have some homie time, really,
I was excited. What were you most nervous about coming up and going on the hike?
I was most nervous about running into someone that was gonna be there and maybe miss the signs about the trail and be upset that there was naked people just hanging out around them.
Yeah. So you were more worried about like a negative encounter or run in with like a clothed person.
Yeah, that's what I was more worried about.
And then I know that long before we actually went on a hike together, you had expressed like thoughts about, well, what if I get bugs or dirt or sticks like in areas that I don't want bugs and sticks to get into,
Don't want them in my cooch.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I did. I said that specifically. I was like, I am not trying to have that.
Yeah.
But
sounds like a bad time.
Yes, but if you're actually just out hiking though, if you're up and moving, especially in the trail where we were at, there's really nothing around that you come in contact with.
You can get some sand in your crack when you sit down, but that's...
Sit on a towel.
Yeah, sit on a towel.
There you go.
We already talked about like kind of what you thought like the negative would be. Was it kind of what you thought it would be like overall? Like going, hiking, meeting me turned out kind of what you expected?
Yeah, it was fun. It was great because we just hung out. It was just the two of us, so we were able to we talked and we smoked weed. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh yeah.
I already said it. Okay, cool.
No.
We did. We smoked weed and we went and we hiked and we talked about a lot of stuff. We saw some really cool shit. Saw a lot of snakes.
Yeah, lots of gardener snakes.
A lot of snakes that day. It was really neat. Yeah, and it was just super fun. It was such a good time. We had great conversation. We got exercise. We got some sun. It was beautiful.
So, we're walking, talking. I'm kind of explaining the trail, explaining the signs. Mm-hmm. Someone defaced the signs and wrote explicit bullshit all over it. Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't. Because even though, it's funny, but it's not funny in this regard, because if you're trying to promote something that isn't sexual, you know, if you do make it sexual, it just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it
defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah, it gives the wrong message to people that really don't know what this is all about. So we get to a certain point, and I say, "Hey, are you cool if I strip off?" You say, "Are you cool if I strip off?" And we strip off. What was that like for you when you first took your top off?
I mean, it felt good.
Felt good. Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, finally I can take this goddamn thing off.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, it was nice.
So was it weird seeing me naked at all?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it didn't bother me. But also, I wasn't, like, looking at you.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like, you know, doing a fucking a sketch of your dick or anything. Like, to take home and say, look what I did today. Oh, cut her name out. It's my wife's name.
We'll cut it out.
Cut this part out. I don't want to name drop anyone, but I wasn't, like, it was just fine. It wasn't a big deal. You know, like, I'm a grown adult. I've seen naked people, men and women, who I don't care. You know, it just wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
And, like, you're my friend, so, like, it's not like there's a stranger coming at me somewhere. It's like, you're my dude. You're my brother, you know. See,
this is why I think this conversation is going to be so interesting, because I'm your male coworker. Mm-hmm. We're also friends, but we work together, and it's like, I think a lot of people are going to be curious about how that dynamic works, because in an ordinary circumstance, a female colleague going out with a male colleague and stripping off and going hiking naked together is kind of extreme. I think a lot of people go, hey, yeah, geez.
I think you're right. I think most people would be a little taken aback by that. But again, for me, it wasn't weird. Mm-hmm. But I also I've spent a lot of time. A lot of my friends are guy friends. I grew up with a lot of guy friends. Mm-hmm. I have 4 brothers. I have male cousins that I grew up with and hung out with all of the time. I enjoy male energy more than I do female energy. Yeah. In a social friendship vibe. And not that I don't have female friends, but I rather would hang out with guys, honestly. So, like, it doesn't bother me. It's not weird to me.
Gotcha.
At all.
Interesting. What surprised you most about how you felt on the hike?
I think, I'm trying to remember exactly how I said it to you, but it just felt free, you know, and it's not that I haven't maybe taken my shirt off on a hike before and had just a sports bra on. Mm-hmm. Like, I've definitely done that, because I get hot and I don't like wearing shirts, but to have that extra layer off and really just feel everything, it just felt good. And I think I said something to you along the lines of, this is what our ancestors did.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is what people did. They just, at one point in time, they were just out here in either no clothes or very limited clothes, and they were just roaming around trying to live, not worrying about any of the minor bullshit that comes along with, you know, like, is someone gonna see me or whatever it is? Like, no one can.
They're just existing.
It probably didn't even run into anyone either, because there were so few people. But, like, that's what people did. They're in, you know, the eons ago. But, like, this is what our ancestors did.
Yeah, it's a deeper connection to everything going on around you. When you're naked, you have to slow down a little bit. You have to be more aware of what's going on. So to me, it makes me more present, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to slap a cactus or walk up onto, you know, some family enjoying the trail too. So I have to be pretty vigilant, which helps me stay pretty grounded and right where I'm at.
Yeah, it was also fun not having to catch that boob sweat. Saying you wouldn't know that because you don't have boobs. I mean, I don't really have boobs either, but when you wear a bra or a sports bra, you catch like a little lake right here, right in between the titties, and it's not no one likes it. No one likes it. It's not good. It's bad.
Something we also talked about on the hike was body image.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people have parts of themselves and insecurities that they don't really like and they're self-conscious about. Did this experience shift anything around that for you, or did you see anything on this experience that would help someone that's struggling with body image and, self-worth?
I mean, I definitely think that doing something like this with people that you're comfortable with and you trust would help some people get over those barriers. And I say some because, of course, not everyone's the same. And not everyone comes, again, that life that you've led leading up to these events.
Yep.
It's all different. But like I said on the hike, I think that in most situations, if you force yourself into that uncomfortable realm, force yourself to be a little uncomfortable, and then you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then from that you grow and you become better, and whatever it is. And it's the same thing with body image. If you're someone that doesn't like the way that you look, or you feel some type of way, but you want to be out there doing these things or try it, just go with someone that you trust, or go somewhere that you can try it out, and just dip your toes and just push yourself just a little bit into that uncomfortable realm, and see what it does for you. Because you're never gonna overcome anything that bothers you until you stand up to it and fight it.
Yeah.
And just go head on, and so yeah, it's something like this. I mean, I'm already comfortable with being naked, but I would even say doing this made me feel even more better with it, or more comfortable with it, I should say.
Yeah, and like we did, the whole vibe on the hike too is cool because we did interact with a couple people. There's naked dudes walking around. The dude, when we were walking down, I don't remember his name. Maybe I'd make up his name, I guess.
Pretty sure it was. But that also might be his real name, and maybe we shouldn't say it.
We're going to call you Joey.
We're going to call him Jesus. Oh, Joey's fine too.
Let's go with Joey.
Let's go with Joey. Not Jesus.
We'll go with Joey. So we met Joey.
I'm trying to not ruin this. I'm so sorry.
No, you're doing great. This is awesome. We met Joey on the way down, and what was your thoughts on what he said? Because he said, "Oh, there's like a whole bunch of clothed people down there. It's good to see naked people," or whatever he said.
Yeah, however he put it, and he was super nice. He was super nice, and he was completely not threatening. He was just a very jovial, friendly person. And it was, I'm glad that we had that interaction, because when we've joked about it, how he said what he said. I was like, oh yeah, I've never seen so many clothed people here. Like, what are they doing? And I thought that was funny, because in most situations, it would be reversed. It would be, oh my God, why are there naked people here?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
But no, it was the opposite. This guy was like, why are they wearing clothes? I don't understand that. Like,
Yeah, he was like super confused.
It was really funny.
The hell's wrong with everyone?
But he was very, very nice. He was very kind.
Yeah.
So, do you think that there is a natural connection that our bodies have to our surroundings? And of course, within reason, because not every climate is suitable for humans to just be uncovered all the time and then survive. Obviously, you can't live up in Norway and go on a naked hike. Maybe in the summer, I don't know.
I have spoken to one nudist guy in like Sweden, Norway. He's about it. But,
okay.
But you do have to wear clothes. That's the thing. People are like, oh, you're a naturist, you never wear clothes. No, I do wear clothes when I need to wear clothes, when I go to work, if it's cold. But in certain climates, clothing's not optional. Like, you'll freeze to death.
Yeah.
If you're naked up in Alaska in the winter.
Yeah.
Like,
fuck that.
Yeah. So I definitely think there's a direct connection between our bodies and the way we live and the way we connect to the stuff around us. Whether that's taking your shoes off and touching the dirt. And, whenever I take my shoes off and run my toes through the grass and the dirt, I can always feel like, oh, there's something more. You know what I mean? There's there's a connection to something more. And by stripping off, you just get that tenfold. You feel the breeze on your body. You feel the sun like warming you. You're sweating more because your pores aren't covered up. I mean, it has a lot of health benefits. There was a recent study. I don't remember the direct numbers, so don't like quote me on this.
I'm quoting. Geez. I'm writing this. I'm writing it down.
Don't quote me.
I'm writing it down.
But it's like 30 minutes walking, like sets your body into like the calm, just drops you into like this calm state where you're like, if you hear birds chirping, your brain's like, oh, we can relax. There's no bad guys or mountain lions that are going to jump on us because the birds are chirping. It's like signals our lizard brain from thousands of years ago that we're safe and you can relax and you don't need to be in fight or flight. So I think spending time in nature walking around like that, you're just popping your body out of fight or flight and into a more like, oh, we can process some trauma and we can just be in the moment and live.
Absolutely. And going back to just the connection between physical activity and the mental benefits, my background's in sport and exercise psychology. That's what my degree's in. I'm in the fitness world. This is what I do. And there is 100% a positive reaction that occurs in most people when you are exercising. It's the chemical release of the serotonin that gives you that. That's why they call it a runner's high. Yeah. And you do get, it's about within the 20-30 minute range because it varies, that your body slips into this state of a mild euphoria. And that's why they call it the runner's high, because you get into that groove and you can get lost in that. And that's a lot of, if you ever go into marathon runners that talk about it, because people will ask them, well, how do you run for the right thing? Because I have friends that are marathon runners and I think they're crazy, but they can really elaborate on what it's like to when you hit that run. And once you of course condition your body to be able to do something like that, they get addicted to it. They're addicted to that serotonin and serotonin. Yeah, and that adrenaline that they're getting. It's very, there really truly actually is. It's real, and that's again why I think that exercise is so important. And you don't have to be a marathon runner, but yeah, going outside and just taking a hike in nature will set you right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's good stuff. But do you feel that society, or especially the history of society, has purposely pushed us into the direction of feeling shameful about our bodies, and that it was sort of premeditated, if you will?
How much time do you have?
I have all the time in the world. I was anticipating us really going possibly on a tangent on this one.
We are definitely going to go on a side tangent.
I'm very excited for it.
This is something that, so in short, yes, I do feel that these systems at play have been hijacked or created to have control over us. Whether that's presenting women with razors and saying smooth skin is sexy, or monetizing bras. Oh no, you need bras. Bras are so bad for your breasts.
I hate them.
Bras are so bad for your breasts, and it was like created for men to make money. You know what I mean? It's all makeup. They create the problem and then build the solution and sell it to you. And it's all based on an innate need inside of everyone to feel wanted and included and loved. Yes. And I think companies prey upon that. I think you and I have spoken about this before, but religious organizations prey upon that.
Yes, they do, unfortunately.
Purity culture, kind of, they weaponize it to control you. Don't have sex. Your body's shameful. Sex is shameful. All these messaging, at least that the church that I grew up in, they were pretty strong on purity culture. So, like, I got messaging that if you masturbated, you would go to hell. Nudity. We weren't even allowed to take our shirts off swimming because the counselors didn't want the boys to somehow tempt the girls into sin, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's just when you first told me that, I thought you were joking. I was like, what? They told boys they couldn't do something? That's crazy. Yeah.
It's usually only one-sided.
Yeah, pretty much.
but yeah, just the whole onus of, I'm putting this on like girls too.
Yeah.
You're now responsible for someone else's sin because your body. This is a really weird side tangent. We can just go right back to
No, I like it. Let's keep going. No, let's keep going.
But yeah, I mean, have you gotten any of those messaging that kind of, I feel like everyone does to an extent?
Oh yeah, I mean, and we can even dive into the difference of growing up. You growing up a boy becoming a man, and me growing up a girl becoming a woman, because I definitely think that there is a certain point, right around like when before you hit puberty, where it's like, okay, you're not a kid anymore, you're entering preteen, teenager years, and so therefore, now you are expected to act a certain way. You are expected to just stop liking these activities or interests that you have because your gender dictates that you shouldn't. And I never understood that. And I think that also with sexuality and mostly I mean like sex, because oftentimes boys are just being boys, so it's cute when a little 5-year-old boy comes in and says, oh, I have a girlfriend. But then if a little 5-year-old girl comes up and says, I have a boyfriend, it's like, oh, you're too young for that, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Or even going into the teenage realm, most of the time it's like, oh yeah, boys masturbate, they're supposed to, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But girls don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You have to be a perfect little untouched flower until you get married.
Yes.
And that's been a culture, that's across a lot of different cultures, and it's been that way for a long time. And again, I don't understand that. And the same thing with nudity. It's okay if a guy wants to take his shirt off because he doesn't have an accumulation of fat around his chest area.
Yeah.
Or if a guy wants to go hang out with his buddies and go to a sauna. Or a lot of time I've heard so many stories from my brothers or my guy friends about guys' locker rooms and how much fun they would have running around naked being silly. Sounds like a blast.
Yep.
Guess what? Girls don't do that.
Interesting.
Girls don't do that. There's nothing that's ever told to you as a girl growing up, at least in even in my generation growing up, where you could go and just hang out with your girlfriends naked and run around and be stupid and be silly. Like, maybe some people got that, but I know I didn't get that.
Yeah, like the only place that my mind can go is like skinny dipping at like a lake or a river or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe like when you're at the mall, like you're in the changing fitting rooms or something.
Yeah.
But I don't get that vibe from girls. Well, this is an interesting topic that has to do with locker rooms. Because you go in locker rooms currently because you're in sports and fitness, so you're kind of around that world. You're in a gym more than I am.
Every day of my life.
Yeah. Do you see... Well, let me back up. Let me rephrase this. There is a movement right now in gyms kind of on the East Coast, I believe it is. Right at this point, I'll say kind of across America, that nudity in gyms is becoming more... restricted, like within the rooms, within the changing areas. Like a lot of gyms are going to these tiles where you can step in, kind of like a stall. Okay. You can step in and change so no one has to see you. And nudity is kind of being phased out of locker rooms. Have you seen? I wish I had the article pulled up, but I just remembered it. My buddy Jason was talking about it. But
I'm unfamiliar with this.
It's just really interesting, like thought? Is that something you see, or is nudity in like the gyms that you go to? Is nudity still pretty like commonly practiced out in the open locker room?
So when I go to my personal gym for when I want to go work out in the locker room, I don't think I've ever in my whole entire life of going into gyms and working out, I've never seen a fully naked woman.
Oh, interesting.
I've never seen someone fully nude. Now, the gym that I work in,
Yeah, yeah,
is different. But you know why it's different.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna go too much into it because I don't want to give like too much of our personal life away.
We'll keep our work stuff separate.
Stuff separate, but that has to come into play because there's a factor to that makes it a little different. So I see nude people in there pretty often.
Yeah, I would say I see nude people in work locker room more than like a public pool locker room that I've been in.
Yeah,
I've changed in the pool locker room I've changed in that pool locker room, and there's a dude in there. He gave me the weirdest side eye. He was like,
why?
"The fuck?"
Like why?
I just dropped my shorts, and I'm like, "I'm just gonna like shower, bro." But he gave me the side eye like this, and then stepped into the urinal stall or the toilet stall, to change. And I just was like, and that was last year.
Okay.
And so I don't know. It's just kind of odd to me that even in spaces that are currently designed, that's where you go to change. There's nothing weird going on in there. I'm dropping my pants, hopping in the shower, and putting shorts on and going about my business.
Yeah, I don't think that's weird, especially because that's a place where you're supposed to do it. Like it's encouraged, it's allowed. It's not weird to go into a locker room, take your clothes off, and then shower and change. But yeah, I've never actually seen it. But then again, I think that there is a difference between men and women in that regards, and there might, of course, be some physiological, like the mental, because men and women's brains are differently, and how we interact how women and women interact are different than how men and men interact.
Yeah.
So that's probably a factor, but I think a lot of it, just a thought, I'm not a fucking scholar on this or anything, but I think a lot of it really comes from society and how the different genders are quote unquote supposed to act.
Yes.
And it's just never really acceptable for women to be doing that. Now, if I did, at the same time though, if I did walk into a locker room and I saw someone that was changing and that was nude, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's a locker room.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be shocked by that at all. Also, I've seen plenty of naked people. Mm-hmm. What's one more? It's fine. It's just a body.
There's a great quote. I don't remember who said it, but nudity becomes unremarkable when you see it all the time. It loses its like, oh my god, did you see the naked guy? Yeah, he's naked. Like, whoop-de-doo.
Like, cool, good for him. Where's he going?
Well, yeah.
Somewhere fun?
At this point, if I saw a naked person out in the woods, I'd be like, oh man, there's another one of us. Where's he going? Do you have another trail?
Do you like podcasts?
Yeah. Do you want to come over here? Speaking of like men and women and the differences of men and women, do you think that the act of stripping off and being naked and going out and going on a nude hike is different for men and women? And I have my answer, but I'm curious about what you think of that.
I think it could be, but I think it depends on the individual. For me, and I guess I can really only speak for myself, but as a woman, I'm fine with doing it, going out there. Like, I don't feel like I would feel threatened or anything like that, but I'm also a little different because I'm not saying I'm invincible, and I'm not saying that it's not possible for bad things to happen to me, but for the most part, I'm a little different than the average woman because I'm I'm very strong, and I have a certain set of skills. I do know how to defend myself properly, so most of the time I don't feel threatened. And that's not saying that I haven't been in situations where I have felt that way, and it really makes you check yourself for sure. But for the most part, I don't feel that way. And again, I don't feel some type of way about being nude around men, because I just don't care. As long as you're not a creep.
Yeah.
You know, like I might not go and do what we did. Actually, I wouldn't go do what we did with someone that I didn't know, where it's just one-on-one and something like that. But in a group setting where there's a lot of people, no, that's fine. That's fine. No, I don't think anyone's gonna come and bother me or anything like that. And if it is in a group setting and everyone agrees that we're here for this reason, then you're probably already past the vibe check. You're not going to be one of those weird people that are just there for the looky-loos.
When you can tell right off too, the people that say at like a nude beach, who are there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
They show up, they find their spot on the beach, they strip off, and they're really not looking around and bobbing, cruising around, chatting, being weird. The ones that you have to watch out for are the guys that are like fully clothed, standing there with their sunglasses, just looking around, focusing on people being creepy. Yeah. And in my opinion, we as a user group need to be better at policing our own areas. And when we see bullshit like that, calling it out and saying, hey dude, that's not cool. This ain't the place for it. Get lost.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that just ruins it for the people that are using it for good, and it ruins it for any future people that would like to come and try and have an experience that might change their life. So yeah, and we talked about men and women and the differences. Perceptions too out on the trail of someone coming across, say you, if you were walking naked, a woman is perceived less dangerous, less of a threat, I guess, from a man. Like, from my stance, I'm not afraid of going hiking and having some person either assault me or molest me while I'm out on the trail. But for a woman, that's different. That's a main concern. And I've been seeing this hashtag, not every man, but a man. Like, it's not every man, but it's enough men that every woman has had a negative experience, of inappropriateness or fear or being uncomfortable. So we as men need to do better too at helping make a better space, a better area for people to come in, especially women or someone that doesn't feel safe. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I obviously agree, but I think that I'm going to take it just a little step farther. I mean, I think that everyone needs to do their part. Yeah. In a perfect world, everyone would do their part. I mean, granted, it's not a perfect world, but, if every man stood up and defended the weaker people when they can, or even women too. Women are strong as well, and
exactly, yeah.
You're allowed to also, as a woman, stand up and defend someone that's weaker than you. That's being a good, strong person, But I definitely think that men need to do a better job of helping your fellow woman with these issues. But then also, women, you gotta do your job too. Yeah. We can't be out there falsely accusing people of heinous crimes, and you can't sit here and tell me that doesn't happen. Yeah. Because it does. Yep. And this is where I might lose some people, but there was that whole movement a few years ago. I believe it was called Believe Every Woman, or something to that effect.
Was it Me Too?
Not necessarily Me Too. It was after Me Too. Right? It was right after Me Too. Me Too came first, And I completely understand why it happened. But then there was a movement afterwards, and I want to say it was something like Believe Every Woman. And
Gotcha.
myself as a woman, I was like, you can't do that shit. You can't do that because people are flawed.
Yeah.
And someone out there is going to take advantage of their situation, which is, you know, being a woman. You got into the situation with a dude, and you didn't like how it turned out, or whatever the situation was, and therefore you can use that as a weapon against him, and that's not okay either. Like I have a lot of single guy friends that have all said the same thing, pretty much, which is, I am a little bit afraid to date.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to put myself out there to an extent because what if something happens? And they're all really good dudes. They're my friends. I love them. And I know that they're not bad guys.
Yeah.
But and that's why they have this fear, because they don't want to be perceived that way, because that's not who they are. You know, but we've got to do a better job of helping one another, because we are symbiotic. You know, and if your ideology doesn't jive with the fact that men and women are different, that's okay. You're allowed to think and believe what you do. I think, my opinion is that there are differences between us, physically, mentally, but we need one another. We counterbalance one another. Without the one, you can't have the other.
Yeah.
And we've got to work together. We are both, we're two parts of one whole.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's an interesting line to walk
Yeah.
between those two, the two discussions, because you can go too far on one side and too far on the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone's gonna
No.
get it, and again, that's okay. You don't have to believe what I believe. That is just what I believe.
Yeah.
That we've got to work together.
Yeah. We've seen it play out.
know,
It
like-
works better when we work together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts on, like, if someone can't handle nudity respectfully, like, they shouldn't be in the space. As a woman, what would you, like, in your mind, if there was a creeper at the beach or on the trail, what would make you feel like, oh, I'm safe and it's being handled? You know what I mean? And not that you can't handle yourself or anything, but, like, if you were at the beach and some creeper was talking to you, what kind of reaction, I guess, in your mind would you like to see from the people around you?
Ideally, you know, yeah, you would want to see people come and rally around you and let you know that you're okay. But for me, I mean, I would handle it myself immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm not someone that likes confrontation, because I just want everyone to be happy and have a good time, but I'm also not afraid to stand up to myself, and I'm not afraid to tell somebody off.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't bother me at all. So, like, I'll do it when I have to. So I would handle it, but, you know, maybe walking away from the situation, someone being like, yeah, fuck that guy, and then giving me a high five or something. Like, hey, do you want to chug this beer with me? Absolutely, sir. You know, in my mind, that would be ideal. That's the ideal situation.
Dude, when we were down there, that dude, I bet you he would have done that.
Yeah.
That dude with the dreads, he would have been like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Fuck
brother.
that guy.
Yeah, he was down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. Did this experience change? I think I already know the answer to this, so did this experience change anything in the way that you see men, like, out in nature in nude settings specifically?
No, I don't really think it changed. I would say it pretty much remained the same, because I'm well aware that men, there's tons of good guys out there. There's tons of them, and they are completely capable of being like you and being like all those other guys that we saw out there. They were just minding their own business, having a good time. No one bothered anybody. You know, they're just people trying to live their life, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's totally okay. But I do want to kind of go back a little bit to the perception of men and women, because you're absolutely right. So that is sort of like a flip on it, where maybe men are encouraged to that or are allowed to exhibit certain behaviors, and when women tend to maybe be told they shouldn't. The flip side of it is that, yes, if you do see a naked woman out somewhere, you're probably not going to be threatened by it. But if you do see a naked man out somewhere, there could very well be that sense of like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he naked? And it elicits a different reaction.
It does.
You know, and what do you think about that as a man? That's also not a creep.
I understand it. I understand why there is that reaction to naked men, because men have done a lot of damaging PR work for the male species. And it also makes me kind of sad, because it's like, just like when we were walking back up from the hike, there was that mother and daughter that were coming down the trail. And whenever I have interactions with that, they weren't scared, but you could tell that, like, they were very uneasy that there was naked people.
A little bit.
You know?
They handled it nice, but you could still
there was that
tell.
underlying tone. I was like, oh, I'm just here. I'm trying to, like, be polite and nice. That's usually my thing. Is like, I want to be super polite. I want to be as non-threatening as possible. Yeah. Like, I'm having a good time. I'm out here in nature. Like, I can cover up. Like, if that's what you need. But, yeah, I hope that the way that I present myself online and in person presents, like, a safe demeanor for people to feel comfortable. And even, like, if they come up to me to say, hey, could you put something on? That they feel comfortable enough to even say that. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, yeah. Because I'm not out here trying to ruin anyone else's outdoor experience. It's not just my land. It's everyone. So we have to, like, we have to, what word am I looking for? We have to contort?
Not contort. Coexist?
No.
Cohabitate?
We have to do something where we're both, like, getting along.
I gave you 2 really good C words, asshole.
The, cohabitate. We gotta cohabitate. That was a great one. We're just gonna jump over that.
I wish I knew what you wanted to say.
Damn, the Lexapro's kicking in. My brain's just like...
Yes. Oh, man. That's great.
Dude, I'll have brain dumps like that where I'll be talking and my thought leaves and I'm like, oh.
Oh, it happens to me
cool.
too. It happens to me too. I have so many moments where I look like I'm fucking stupid. I understand why people think I'm fucking stupid. Like, it's like, I get it. I get it. It's okay. It's fine. I know me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to handle ourselves in a way that's respectful so we don't upset anyone and everyone can coexist.
Yeah, exactly. And being in those spaces where, you know, it might be clothing optional, and if someone comes into that by accident and they don't see the sign, they come into it and maybe they are someone that is put off by it. Yeah, you would hope that they would have the comfort to come up and say, hey, excuse me, hey, we came down here by accident, but, like, you know, can you cover up? Okay, sure, that's fine.
And I love moments like that because it gives you an opportunity to tell them about what's going on and give them some true information, because a lot of people see stuff like this and they go, oh, it's a bunch of hippies and swingers and they're swapping wives, doing all sorts of stuff down there. That's not what happens. Yeah. Maybe, you know, on and off here and there, but a majority is just people wanting to connect with nature and get out and hike and be in the water and sand. Yeah.
So some questions that I had typed up going, and it kind of works perfectly what we were just talking about with the dynamic of men and women. So with my upbringing, because I grew up with brothers and male cousins, and I've had a lot of male friends throughout my life, I've already established that comfort with the opposite sex and being naked around them or just sharing a lot of personal spaces. So how did you feel going into the hike with a female, not growing up the same way that I did, because you grew up with only brothers and I don't think you really had a whole lot of female cousins growing up, but I could be wrong. I know we've talked about
I grew up with a handful of female cousins.
Okay.
And
I wasn't
so-
sure how many.
A handful.
Okay.
I got some female cousins growing up. So I was not, unfamiliar with nudity, but and nudity at my house wasn't treated as like a thing. It was just like, you take a shower, you get dressed, or you don't. I'd go run around in the yard naked. So it wasn't really restricted. It got restricted for me. Kind of how we all go through this thing where, I'm a certain age. It's not appropriate for me to just change in the parking lot anymore. I have to put a towel on and cover up, or
No one can see you.
yeah. I don't even remember what the question was.
Well, how did you feel going into the hike with me as a female?
Damn, I'm way off.
That wasn't, but it's good because I like I said, I knew that we have, because we've talked about each other's families a bunch, but I wasn't really sure if you had a lot of that female interaction crowd, because I know you have brothers.
I did, but not a lot of nude interaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go skinny dipping with my cousins when we were younger, and then my cousin when I was 7 years ago hunting. He's one of my hunting partners, so we'd go turkey hunting and I'd strip off.
Yeah.
But the male-female relationship, it was you don't look at that. Nudity is something to be covered up, and then it's for sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by putting nudity up on this pedestal, it really had me fixated on it growing up. And so when I came into this just a few years ago, that was one of the biggest freedoms that I experienced, was desexualizing the human body. I could see a naked woman and it not be this ooh, yeah, oh, she's so pretty. It's just another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah. So
you weren't worried about it at all. Oh yeah, this is my female friend.
No, I was more worried about sending you the notes for the podcast than I was seeing you naked or you seeing me naked. I was oh my God, I have to send her these notes. They need to look good, and yeah. So going on the hike, I'm well, she's either gonna love it or hate it, and we're not gonna talk about it again. So.
Oh no, we're talking about it. We're not even just talking about it. We're recording it with audio and visual.
Yeah, again,
cheers, everyone.
You presented yourself with such confidence, and you weren't concerned about anything. So I really didn't have a concern.
Cool.
Now, if I took another woman who was scared or really I don't know if I can do this, I would do the same sort of thing, but I would have them just walk behind me. Mm-hmm. That way they don't feel exposed or overseen, I guess.
Yeah.
That was one of the things when Olivia and I started hiking together. I would let her just walk behind me. Mm-hmm. That way she can have her own little moment, in nature, and I'm just up front looking for anything that we need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't worried about seeing you naked or you seeing me naked. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad that you were comfortable as well, because I was this is fine.
Well, yeah, and
I didn't care.
I might be the odd one, but I'm always this is so great. Oh, we're gonna have such a blast.
No,
oh my God.
I felt the same way. It was super fun. I can't wait to go back and do it again. And maybe we can convince some other people to try it too.
Yeah.
Because it was so much fun just to go out there and just have that homey day and all that. But then coming back after I got home, I remember coming home, and I had this high that I was riding for the rest of the evening. And I remember I was sitting out in the living room in my big old beanbag chair, and I'd still had my shirt off, and I was just in some basketball shorts, and I was just chilling in that chair, and man, I was just straight vibing. I was feel alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I really did. I felt so good because I was outside in the sun, you know, really, truly basking in it because I didn't have a shirt on, thank God. And I got exercise and I got to hang out with my dude and we had great conversations. We got to see a lot of cool shit. And it was like, what? Yeah, this was awesome. It was all the ingredients that led to this feeling of just, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yep.
I feel happy in this moment, at least for right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So that I thought it was great. So it would be nice to try to get some other people that maybe are looking for that or just want to try it. And even if they go and do it and maybe they don't get that same feeling, that's okay. Maybe they'll get something else out of it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're open to the experience.
Yeah.
I think that there's always a benefit.
Yeah, and I think it's really healthy too to do things safely that make you feel uncomfortable or push up against your boundaries that just allow you to expand yourself a little bit more. And I think that's part of the process for a lot of people is that expansion of like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Like standing at the top of a high dive right before you jump off. And then you jump off and you're fine. Everything's great. You had a fun time. But the moments climbing up that ladder and standing there looking over, you're like, oh crap.
It's like, don't think, just jump.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just go for it.
When we were putting on our clothes and like kind of hiking back up, did you have any like thoughts about the hike or?
I mean, I would have loved to have just sat there where we were sitting and talking. I would have loved to have just sat there for longer because we were just talking about all kinds of stuff. And we usually do. We always go in these philosophical tangents and talk about history and religion. Religion's something that we talk a lot about. But yeah, we were just having these really good conversations, and like I love doing that and doing it out in nature too. Just being outside. I just like being outside.
Oh, it was super good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you have any other questions that you wanted to ask or?
Yeah. So the next little tidbit I had here. So again, you know, I grew up with brothers and stuff like that, and it was totally normal. But then, of course, at a certain age, there started to be this guided separation, which I understand. But, you know, it was still well, now you guys have to do this and you have to do that. And you can't do this together and you can't do that together. And they started getting treated differently and I started getting treated differently. And so my question to you is, as someone that has two kids that are of different genders, how do you and your wife think that you guys are gonna start looking at that when they start to become young men, you know, a young man and a young woman? Like, do you think that you guys are gonna start separating them, or are you going to introduce them into life? You know, how are you guys going to do it with having the boy and the girl and
That's
then nudity?
Question.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Question.
Yeah.
So right now, they're both young enough that like my daughter, she doesn't even clock nudity. It's just she's naked. She rips off her clothes. She runs around our yard naked. My son is entering the stage where he is clothed most of the time, and you know, if we go to like Tanque Verde, he might strip off, but he's kind of getting to the age where he's like, I'll stay covered up until like we're at home and the blinds are shut and I can just be free and no one else is around.
Yeah.
And basically when we started this, we explained to the kids that you guys can be naked. It's clothing optional. Our house and backyard area is clothing optional. So whatever you feel like doing, that's up to you. But when we have guests over, you have to be clothed because not everyone sees this way of life as the correct way to live. Especially with kids involved, people get a little bit weird.
Understandable.
understandably.
Very, very understandable.
But yeah, just explaining like body parts. We use the correct terms: penis, vagina. Like, they know the body parts. They know what's acceptable behavior towards them in terms of nudity. Like, if someone tells you, "Oh, keep this secret, don't tell your parents," they know.
Right.
This isn't a safe person.
Stranger danger, kids.
Yeah. This person's asking me for pictures of myself. Red flag. We don't do that.
Yeah, don't
You
do
know what I mean? So it's like, it's an interesting discussion around nudity with the kids because there's an added element of like unsafe nudity. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Safe nudity, safe non-sexual family nudity. This is what it looks like. Playing in the yard, going swimming. Basically anything you can think of that you can do naked at your house. That's basically it. I don't know if that answered your question, but like the girl and boy aspect of it, they both know what the body parts look like, and they're both really unfazed.
Okay.
Like when we go to Tanque Verde Falls, there's naked men, sometimes there's naked women. They are so unbothered by naked bodies that it's just, oh, that's a guy, and like some penises are longer, some boobs are bigger, you know, some people have scars. They see it and they understand, you know.
Yeah. I am curious to, and this is all stemming from the fact that I don't have kids, and I'm never going to have kids. So, as someone that is rearing young children, I was just curious as to like how you guys thought you were going to handle it, or I even wonder if there's going to be a point where the two of them come to the conclusion by themselves of either I don't want to do this because I'm uncomfortable, or I no longer want to do this with my sibling because it's my sibling, and now I'm at an age where I either think that that's weird or other people are telling me that that's weird. Because at some point they are going to start getting a lot of input from their peers.
You get naked with your sister?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds, it sounds
bad.
weird. Fuck it. Okay. And we're back.
Awesome.
Are we recording?
We're recording,
Yes, let's
and
go.
we're recording on there. So
Excellent.
we're gonna just.
We had an we had a minor issue, but we're good now.
Okay, where were we?
So I was asking you about how you and your wife
Oh yeah.
are planning to navigate the world of nudity and potentially even naturism with your children, and how you guys were, if you were gonna like have guided separation between the two of them, or if at some point, I'm curious to know if at some point, if either one of them come to a stage where they no longer feel comfortable being nude around their family, or if the kids are like, well, I don't want to be naked. I don't want to be naked with my brother or my sister.
Yeah.
Or if they're gonna be like, yeah, so we go and do this as a family, and it's totally not weird. Because it's not. But but you know how it is, especially when you're becoming a teenager. There's a lot. It's difficult for both boys and girls to go through that transition. So, I'm curious as to how that's gonna take place.
They will keep changing in front of each other, being naked around each other or us, whatever they feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if naturally they kind of are like, ooh, this is kind of weird, like you don't have to do everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if it makes you feel uncomfortable, I don't want you to do it. So that'll be kind of left up to them and how they're feeling about it. And however that shakes out, I guess we'll see how that plays out,
Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting about that question, I'll add an extra layer, is we homeschool our children, and we have homeschool, like a co-op that we go to. And those people come over to our house, and it's kind of funny because I have my back sitting area, which is like this fenced off private area for us to like bathe in the sun or sit and smoke weed and talk, whatever we want to do. And there's a sign up on the wall that says clothing optional area.
Sweet.
And so like all these homeschool
That's
moms
cool.
come over and they're like, oh, what's this area back here? Oh, what the hell? What is that?
What are you guys doing?
No one said anything, but one of Olivia's friends walked back there and was like looking around. She looked at the sign real good and was like, But she's German, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah, they
thinking-
don't care.
I'm thinking she's fine.
I've noticed that in my time of working where I do, because we do have people that come in and use the facility that were not born here. They are from other countries, and a lot of Europeans or the Asian cultures are just very accustomed to shared nude spaces, and so I see a lot of those people that weren't born here that definitely have more of a sense of comfort with it than compared to people that were born here, which I think is interesting, because it really just comes back to it's how you grow up, it's the culture, it's what you're told is okay and what's not okay, and how you can just live in that world and just you're just there, it doesn't have to be a weird thing.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Which that actually goes pretty well into my next question is, do you think if children grew up with a better understanding of anatomy and biology, and if they're grounded in that sense of respect for themselves and for others, do you think that nudity wouldn't be such a faux pas?
I definitely think it wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it's really not, but the messaging that we've gotten growing up has really put us in a place where, specifically in our country, nudity is a big issue. People don't like it.
We started because of religious freedom, ironically, but that religious freedom was still, you had this whole Puritan movement.
Yep.
And there it is in the word, Puritan, like pure, you can't be tainted, you can't, and there was this whole, the foundation of it all is of these, dare I say, quote unquote, Christian values, and that's not exactly how I wanted to present that, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, and I will say, too, I don't have a problem with religion, or like when I say Christian values or Christian upbringing. I don't have like this bitterness towards religion or like my upbringing or the church. It's just my experiences growing up in the church were different from other people's experiences, and the experiences I had have made me kind of shy away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm not anti or pro. I want to throw that out there, guys.
Yeah, and same. I don't care what you believe or don't believe. It's just, that's been kind of the foundation of the morals, that's been presented here in our country. It's, you have to be decent. You gotta do everything a certain way. So therefore, nudity and maybe even premarital sex or anything that might be considered lewd behavior, masturbation. It's always been kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
Which I just personally disagree. I don't think there's anything wrong with being nude. There's nothing wrong with masturbation. There's nothing wrong with enjoying sex for pleasure.
Just being a normal human, having a normal human experience.
It's completely normal, in my opinion.
What was it like for you personally, having other people see you naked? Again, I'm guessing not a big deal.
Yeah, even though I didn't know who the people were, because I was in a space that was accepting of it, and it wasn't going to be something that was out of the blue. Like, people expect to see it there, so why would it be a problem?
Yeah.
So I was fine with it, and even though it was people that I didn't know, it's okay, because ultimately, like I said, I felt safe, I was good, I was with you, and I'm never gonna see those people again, probably, unless maybe I go back and I see them.
Unless we go back.
And that's fine, and that's cool too. But like realistically, like, am I ever gonna see these people again? Probably not. Am I ever gonna see the Amazon driver again? Probably not, because he's never gonna come back here now.
Well, too, it's like, like,
Yeah.
like if I'm naked and someone else is naked, you're on like a level playing field.
Oh yeah.
And all the fears and everything all the trappings that we wear and the clothing that we wear and the masks, when you strip all that away, you're just truly yourself. And there's a different connection. Like when we were sitting on the beach in the shade and the wind was blowing around and we were just talking, that was the most like down to earth, real fucking conversation. And like we were just having a blast. And the nudity wasn't the main focus. You know what I mean?
I forgot about it.
Exactly.
There were most of the hike, actually, I didn't think about it at all.
Was that weird for you to forget that you were naked with someone else?
No, I didn't think it was weird. I honestly, I didn't really think about that until now. Now that we're going back and recanting on everything, I didn't realize that I had stopped thinking about it, but I definitely did. Definitely, there was a certain point where it just was like, this is just hanging out now.
Yeah.
We're naked? Oh, shit.
There's
I forgot.
Yeah, there's no assumptions. There's no, like, surprise. This isn't what it is. You know what I mean? It's like... It's what I try and tell the guys that message me. Oh, what do you do on the hikes? You get, like, nasty on... No, dude. I'm walking around sweating my ass off, walking up some drainage in the middle of a desert. There's nothing sexy going on. You know what I mean?
Unless you're into that kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm out here for good vibes, good mental clarity. Like, I'm not about it, right. And so it's always interesting to see how people react. We're gonna like wrap up. We've been going for a while, and then we had the thing die.
Still going.
Yeah,
still fucking going.
If you had to sum up this whole experience, what would you say? And like, if there's someone listening that wants to try it or thinks that they would like to try it but don't kind of know where and are thinking about starting out, what in your mind should they do as someone from the outside who's just kind of had their first hike experience?
I would say if you are someone listening that whatever your goal is, it doesn't matter, but if it pertains to trying nude recreation in any way, shape, or form, I would recommend doing some research into the different organizations, and there's a lot of social media groups, as I'm discovering through you, that are safe spaces for you to inquire and figure out where you can go and do these activities, and figure out the people that you can meet up to try these activities with. Like, there's definitely the means to locate the right people. You have to know where to look, and I think that might be the hardest part is getting that initial jump off of what's actually a good source versus a bad source.
Yeah.
But they are out there. They're out there. You can reach out to people. You've had pretty good luck reaching out to a lot of different people in this world, and they've been nothing but, supportive and kind and welcoming. Yeah. As far as I see, as just someone that's your friend. So yeah, just go out there, put yourself out there and be willing to make some new connections and find a place that you feel comfortable, and just go and try it. And even if maybe you're not ready to go on a hike or go to a resort or do something like that, maybe try going out in your yard and just garden topless. Yep. Or just sunbathe. Maybe you don't do anything yet. Just go outside and sit naked and see how it feels, and just think about what that does for you. And then baby steps, you can start incorporating maybe some yoga or something. I don't know, whatever your jam is, but go look for the safe spaces that work for you. Yeah. And And don't be afraid of having conversation either, I think is really big. We need to converse more as a society about what we think and what we feel in a respectful, productive way.
Yeah.
If only we had that more.
Yeah. Well, and just people being more open about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, by not talking about it and hiding it, everyone still has the assumptions that nude recreation is just a bunch of people doing weird stuff out there, which that's the farthest thing from the truth. You also said something about, like, when you feeling internally your emotions. This is more about how the experience makes you feel than how you look or how your body looks. It's more about, oh, I'm out here, I have anxiety, and going out into nature, it doesn't stop the anxiety, but it helps me. It gives me like an extra little boost, like you were talking about, So going out in the nature helps me do that. It doesn't cure me of it, but it gives me another outlet in my toolkit of stuff to do for my mental health. So that's why I do it. And yeah, it's anyone that's looking for this experience, start slow, start in your house. Yeah. Start by stripping naked and taking a shower, and then stay naked after the shower. Maybe look at yourself in the mirror. A lot of people don't look at themselves in the mirror.
And then a lot of people, some people don't want to because they don't like what they look like, and I understand that, but this is definitely the fitness professional coming out in me, but but if you don't like something about yourself, a lot of it you can't change. There's some things you can't change, of course, but you still have the control and the ability to change a lot about you, and not just physically. Let's be fair, not just physically, but it does come into the mental and emotional part too. It's not always easy. It rarely is easy to fix any of those things that you might not be happy with yourself, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Sometimes you just have to prioritize, what you really want. And if you want to be someone that is happier with less anxiety, definitely 100% being outside and moving your body are two things. I agree with you.
Yep.
They help with my anxiety too. I'm not gonna lie, I have a shit ton of anxiety. And I combat that with exercise and being outside.
Yeah.
I feel the same way with you. It's like whenever I get back from doing either exercise or being outside, or if I get to have the combination of both, like, I feel so good.
Yeah.
And it makes up for all of the 10 shitty feelings I had earlier in that day. That trumps all of them.
Yeah.
Hands down for me.
Dude,
so if you're someone that is struggling with mental health in any shape, way, or form, I do encourage you to try it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And if it's not your thing, that's okay.
And that's okay too, yeah. But try it, and you might surprise yourself.
Yeah.
You just might.
So, last question. Yeah. Would you do this again?
Hell yeah! When are we going? Let's go, man.
Soon. The roof is done. We're going to go.
Let's go, yeah.
Maybe we'll get some monsoons to fill up the water at Tanque Verde and have a badass time.
That would be fun.
Is there anything else you'd like to bring up or say before we pop off?
So many things, but I'm not going to say any of them. I'm going to keep them all for next time.
There will be a next time. We went to go record this, and the audio and the wind just didn't turn out the way we wanted. So we will do a nude hike again together. I actually have a spot that I want to take you on some national forest land down to an old homestead that I found, and it's super badass.
Yeah, I'm down.
So we'll schedule that out, and then that'll be a video and audio that we do where I don't screw up the audio, and we actually have an episode from it.
It was really windy.
It was really windy.
It was really windy. Very unfortunate because we talked about a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, we'll have to rehash it.
We will, or we'll talk about some more crazy shit.
Yeah,
that's actually probably what's gonna happen.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this journey and the music. You really are an amazing friend, and you helped propel me and funnel me towards what this is now. So I really appreciate you.
Number one fan.
Number one fan.
I hold that title.
She will fight you.
I might. I might.
All right, guys. Have a good one. All right, that was my conversation with Deter. I really appreciate her willingness to come on and express herself so openly. What I love about this is it shows that nudity isn't really the main part of the story. It's really about what happens when we let go of shame, fear, and assumptions that we've all been taught to carry. During this conversation, we talk about body image, vulnerabilities, social conditioning, and the freedom that comes from simply being yourself without judgment. So whether nude hiking is something you'd ever do or not, I hope this episode encouraged you to think a little bit differently about your relationship with your own body and the stories that our culture has kind of told us to carry about nudity. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, leave a review, and follow the podcast so you don't miss future conversations. Until next time, get naked, be free, and be kind. See ya. This rock version of the intro and outro music and the original version were written, produced, recorded, mixed, and mastered by Deter through FN Wizard Music Productions. If you'd like to hear more of her music or learn more about her work, check out the links in the show notes and visit FN Wizard Music Productions.